Forestry is recognized as a labor-intensive industry which economically provides huge opportunities for growth, employment, and business opportunities to local people. The lush woodlands of the Amahlathi region, the conducive climate, and the availability of unskilled labor in big numbers are just some of the factors that, without a doubt, position the town of Stutterheim as a potential timber processing and furniture manufacturing hub. In 2006, the Amatole Economic Development Agency, trading as Aspire, formerly known as AEDA, developed a wood house concept in partnership with the Amahlathi local municipality as part of the Small Town Regeneration Program. ABENZI Wood House was registered and incorporated as a Section 21 company in 2010 and later became a non-profit organization in 2011. The Wood House vision was to position Stutterheim as a wood processing destination and to empower local communities through technical and entrepreneurial skills to take business and employment opportunities in their local economy through timber downstreaming in the forestry industry. Secondly, the aim was to respond to forestry sector challenges and dwarf programs, namely Forest Enterprise Development Program and Participatory Forest Management Program. The Wood House members and partners are as follows: Amahlathi Local Municipality, Amatole Economic Development Agency, trading as Aspire, Walter Sisulu University, Fine Art Department, Department of Forestry and Fisheries, Department of Economic Development, Environmental Affairs and Tourism, Babana Technologies, Yondalia Timbers, Industries Education and Training Institute. The governance structure comprises of 5 non-executive directors and a general manager for the execution of day-to-day operations. The establishment and pilot training of the ABENZI Wood House marks the implementation of the first strategic sector intervention undertaken by Aspire to demonstrate the small town regeneration strategy. The company is made up of a training center, a factory component, and the business cluster and incubation in wood furniture manufacturing. The main objectives of ABENZI Wood House are to capacitate local youth and women technically in the furniture manufacturing subsector, to empower the trainees with business skills to take business opportunities in the sector and improve their employability in the sector, to develop forestry value chain and position Stutterheim as a timber processing destination.
We've managed to raise funding via the Department of Economic Development, Environmental Affairs and Tourism, as well as through the Small Town Regeneration Program. We've managed to secure funding from the National Neighborhood Development Partnership Grant of National Treasury. In total, by 2010, 2011 financial year, ABENZI have managed to raise about 9 million rand in order to implement the learnership or the training program.
The fundamental premise of the Wood House concept is the provision of training in order to produce skilled artisans who will take up formal employment in cabinet making, as well as own small and medium manufacturing businesses and enter the Wood House incubation program.
I would say the developmental impact of the ABENZI Wood House is the fact that we've managed to take local trainees who were very new, who never have any understanding of what the labor market is all about.
The first training of 20 local youths came from the small towns of Amahlathi local municipality, such as Stutterheim, Keiskammahoek, Cathcart, and Cairode, and commenced on 26 July 2010. The second training of another 20 trainees was effected from September 2011. Both these groups are currently on NQF Level 2, although Group 1 is completing the learnership at the end of October 2012.
Uphuma kwami kwa grade 12 yabo ndiye ndahlala nje for unyaka, then after that kuye kwaphuma i-forms ezithetha nge-learnership kwi-cabinet making, then ndabeke mina ke ndingulaa uthanda usebenza ngezandla, uthanda uzenzela into zam, so ndafumanisa okay nantsi i-chance yoba ndi-improve i-skills sam ndiqhubeke phambili so that leyo nto eliphupha lam loba bu-businessman khe liphumelele.
Before ndize apha bendikwi-project ekuthiwa yiSinako Youthhood Project, nayo eyenza kwa i-cabinet making. Ndathi ndiphaya ke ndazofumana lena into, so ndeza apha kuba ndifuna ukuphuhlisa i-skills sam ekwenzeni i-furniture.
Before kanti ndibe lapha bendingasebenzi, ndingumntu omtsha ohleli ekhayeni, so ndithe ndawuba lapha ke ngoku ndafumana i-chance yoba ndifumane i-skill ku-woodwork. So esi skill ke ndisifumene apha sizawundinceda ekubeni ndizawuqhubeleka naso, then ke ngoku ndibe kanti ndizawuvula i-businesses.
Yonke laa nto ebendiyiphupha ngayo zezi skills ndiye ndazifumana apha, even now yabo ukuba yi-cabinet maker.
Apha ke ndiye ndafumana nee-skills, i-life skills, ne-communication skills, ne-business skills. So ngoku ke ndi-incubate apha, sivule iibhizinesi zethu ukuze sikwazi ukuthengisa i-furniture, sikwazi ukuphucula nee-future zethu, and sikwazi nokucreate ii-jobs for abanye abantu abatsha abangasebenziyo.
The client base of ABENZI is composed of two. Mainly, we've got the target beneficiaries, who are our local youth and women who are the trainees of the ABENZI Woodhouse program. Via the training program, we also have managed through, because of the mini factory component of ABENZI Woodhouse, to seek potential customers who are we grooming for the business side of the ABENZI Woodhouse. And to date, we've managed to produce items for the school, household, church and office furniture.
Kunyaka ophelileyo siye safikelwa ngabantu base ABENZI Woodhouse be-advertise ifurniture yabo. Siye saya ke ku-warehouse yabo apho bathengisela khona, sayibona soneliseka, sayiplace i-order. Isabe ifikile ifurniture esikolweni sethu, siqaphele into yokuba imaterial yabo yequality kakhulu, izitulo zihle and zikhangeleka zomelele kakhulu. ABENZI Woodhouse ke ngabantu abanobele kakhulu. Sinqwena kananjalo ukuba kwixesha lizayo sakuthi xa sifuna ifurniture sinxibelelane nabo kuba siqinisekile iservice yabo iservice esemgangathweni enqwenelekayo.
I will say the developmental impact of ABENZI Woodhouse so far is the fact that we've managed to pull out trainees which were mainly coming from the township with any higher level educational background, and then they have no knowledge of what happens in the labor market. So I think as part of the Woodhouse program, they've managed to get both sides, which is the technical aspect of it as well as the understanding of the labor market. And through the stipend that they are earning from ABENZI Woodhouse, I think it has managed to change the lives of the trainees themselves as well as their families, because at the end of the month they've got something to take home to as well as to provide for themselves and their families.
Ndiyabulela kakhulu kuzo zonke i-organization ezenze le program beyimpumelelo, because siyasafumana i-skills lulutsha besihleli nje elalini kungekho nto siyenzayo, kodwa ngosinento yokwenza.
The maturity of the trainees from taking it from the date when they started to join the Woodhouse and to what it will mean to them, especially during the graduation phase, because we want them to understand the training as a formal training, not just as something to get into just to pass time and while you are still seeking for your future employment, but to see it as a career path.
Out of 16 learners, they split into two groups. Each cooperative is consisting of 8 cooperative members. So they are going to source some jobs from the communities. Then I'll be assisting them with technical advice, coming with the quality of the products from the beginning to the end. they have the skills. Of course, I'll be just monitoring here and there.
Thanks to the existing funding from the Department from NDPG and DEDEA, now we've managed to implement phase 1 and phase 2 of the ABENZI Woodhouse. But now the idea and the biggest challenge is to secure funding for the proper implementation of phase 3, which is the business cluster and the incubation phase of ABENZI Woodhouse. The next step now going forward is to launch the business incubation, as well as make sure that we secure enough funders and partners in order to implement the Woodhouse vision, to make sure that we've fully piloted the concept as it is, as well as not divert from the developmental objectives of the ABENZI Woodhouse without neglecting its commercial aspect through the incubation program.
The establishment and pilot training of the ABENZI Woodhouse Section 21 company marks the implementation of the first strategic sector intervention undertaken by Aspire to demonstrate the small town regeneration strategy. The Woodhouse experience, although it's too early, highlights the valuable role of government and private sector in promoting local economic development. Lessons learned will inform strategic planning and formulate a model for skills development interventions as part of local economic development initiatives.